We're going to take it over to Ken, who's finding out the answer with our good friends from Nerds on Call.
Always good to see Ryan Eldridge here again, Ryan.
About?
What's that? Because he always does something that makes me laugh. Plus, we have kids, and so we kind of talk about that. And this is one of those things that's really important for parents with young children.
Yes.
We all have them using some sort of mobile device at some point, and now we kind of need some guidelines.
We used to pop a pacifier in their mouth to keep them from screaming.
Right.
Well, now we give them a mobile device or a tablet and say, here, watch some Thomas the Train. Leave Daddy alone.
Leave me alone, yes. That's Daddy. I do that a lot. I'm sorry.
So 3/4 of all children under 8 have access to a mobile device and know how to use it.
Yeah.
But here's kind of an interesting fact, is 38% of toddlers that are under 2 know how to use a cell phone. How cool is that?
On one hand, it's kind of crazy. On the other hand, it's kind of cool.
Well, we got to get them trained fast because otherwise they're not going to be able to fix our stuff later when we get old and decrepit. So
that's solid.
Let's talk about the top 5 myths about screen time in kids.
Okay.
So the first one is that all screen time is detrimental. We've all heard, don't sit your toddler in front of a TV.
Right.
And then walk away. That's still bad. But if they're watching an episode of like Daniel Tiger, and Daniel Tiger hides his toys from his friends, then talk to them about it and say, hey, how would you feel if your friends hid their toys? What would you do differently than what Daniel Tiger did? And bring the screen time, what they see on the screen, into real life.
Got it.
If they see a show about birds, walk around the neighborhood and point out birds to them. And then it becomes real and an interactive experience with their parents.
What if they're watching Caillou?
Well, I hate Caillou. He's so whiny.
You can stay.
Ooh, don't ever
watch
Caillou.
No one likes Caillou. Okay.
Block him on Netflix. He's terrible. Okay. So number 2, children aren't impacted by TV in the background. Sometimes we're cleaning the house or we're doing something and the TV's just kind of on in the background and the kids are playing with their blocks and their stuff. And we go, they're not watching Judge Judy anyway, so what do they care? Well, if they hear a word that they know or a tone of voice that sounds kind of like, whoa, they're building their blocks, they get distracted by it, and it can affect their cognitive development and their language development.
Okay.
So if it's in the background, just turn it off, especially if it's not child appropriate.
Okay.
Next is TV at bedtime can lull the kids to sleep. You know, my kids, they love to watch little videos before they go to bed, but it suppresses melatonin, and it actually makes them sleep less. Kids who have TV in their room get to bed 37 minutes later and get 18 minutes less of sleep. That's almost an hour less of sleep if they have a TV or a mobile device in their room.
That's not good.
That's pretty terrible. So if you have a cell phone and you're using your cell phone all the time, that's terrible. Kids are learning that behavior from you. They're learning, in fact, they're learning that that cell phone sometimes is more important than they are. So what they found is they did a study in fast food restaurants of about 40 parents. They watched 55 parents total, and 40 parents of them, within a few minutes of sitting down and eating, they pulled out their cell phone. Their kids acted up more often, and then the parents reacted harshly when the kids did act up. So keep your cell phone in your pocket.
Okay.
Next is the last one. So interactive screen time for kids is the best. So like, let's say you're reading an ebook, and Thomas the Train has these great ebooks, and the train kind of comes out and makes noises. The problem is all those noises and distractions distract them from the story, and then they start clicking on stuff.
Just to hear the noises,
Yeah, Isabella, my baby girl, she'll just sit there and poke at something because she thinks it's funny, but she's not paying attention to the story at all, and she's not getting as much as she could if it was just a regular book that she flips through.
Wow, interesting. I like that. 5 myths that people are, you didn't know about, but now you know the real deal on these myths. And I had a question. What if I have sports on in the background?
Well,
because I'm trying to train him.
I would say
he's going to be a football player or a baseball player.
Well, then I would sit down with him and go over the plays with him.
No, we do that,
say,
but then I have it on in the background. It's always on in the background.
In general, if you're having it in the background and the kids are doing something else, they're still picking up and hearing that noise and that speech and stuff. And if they're not paying attention to it, it can harm their cognitive thinking and some of their language skills. So it'd be best to just turn it off or watch it with them and then talk to them about it. Say, when Daddy throws the football, you got to catch it like that guy did.
Yes, man, and bring it into your body.
Don't do what Tom Brady does. Don't do what he does.
Bring it into the body. Ryan, always good to see you. And you can stay now because you don't like Caillou like the rest of us. Courtney, we got to start a whole petition to get rid of Caillou.
Hashtag can't stand Caillou.
Hashtag you got to go, Caillou.
Hashtag whiny 4-year-old. Thanks.